Hello and welcome to Underleveled Gaming. Today we're having a conversation about Pokemon Generation 8 and the rumors, leaks, and our hopes and expectations, predictions, and everything else in between. Today I'm joined by Reese, as always.
Yo.
So yeah, let's just get into it. So to begin with, the first and biggest rumor is its setting and region setting, which is Great Britain. Which is, funny enough, where me and Reese come from. So, Reese, what do you think of the idea?
I mean, I think it's plausible. It could work. There's a lot of, especially if they use the whole of Great Britain, not just England. If they use like Wales, Scotland, and Ireland, there's a lot of good range of terrain that they can use. You know, we've got beaches. There's like mountains. There's countryside. There's cities, so there's a lot of landmarks there as well, like Stonehenge and all those sort of places, Big Ben.
Ooh, Stonehenge, I like that idea. There's a lot of like mystery about Stonehenge, and like the whole idea of having like legendary maybe connected to Stonehenge. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it could be. And I think like as well, there's a lot of that tradition in England as well, with a lot of especially with like, well, to be honest, like with Wales, Ireland, and Scotland. There's all of like, we've all got our own little mythologies and stuff, so there's a lot they could take from.
Yeah, I think it was, at first I thought it was a dumb idea, but the more I thought about it, like having like the snowy area in Scotland and more countryside out and foresty areas out in Wales, and even my idea that I thought of having like a battle frontier sort of thing, like on island, so it's like, well, it wouldn't be island obviously, but have an island off the main island, and you'd have to take a boat there at the end game, and that's where the battle frontier or something similar to it would be. I thought that was.
I even thought as well. Another idea, if they weren't to go with that, I was also thinking they could make Big Ben the battle tower.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, that would be really awesome. Or even just having it as a gym.
Yeah, just have it play into or even the Elite Four. Just have it play into the. I mean, you have to really. It's Big Ben. You can't miss out Big Ben.
Yeah, of course. But on that note, do you think gym badges are back, or do you think trials are going to stay?
I feel like the trials should be like more of a gimmick for like the Alola region, just because it was an island, quite a small island sort of thing. And it's like that was their tradition, and that was islands, and that was kind of the traditions that they had. And I don't feel like everywhere would take that sort of stance. It'd be more, that's more like something they had, because it's like, where it's like, they're all local, everyone knew each other. It's more a community there, whereas I think here it'll be more a bigger region.
Yeah, everyone more like Britain. Nobody knows each other. Everybody's different, and
yeah,
of course.
And each area's like, even though each island was different, you still had a sense like everyone kind of knew each other. Whereas in England, like you go up the road, like you leave London and it's all different. Everywhere is different.
Yeah, of course. But so far we agree on everything. So So what would you like to see then in Pokemon Generation 8?
I think for me, obviously, we'd all like to see Pokemon. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do, because I mean, the starters, they don't have to reflect the region, but they tend to try and make them reflect the region, and I think it's going to be kind of hard for them to do something that reflects the region for Great Britain.
Definitely, yeah. We don't have much of our own wildlife. We don't have much in terms of anything, really.
I feel like we do have a lot of wildlife, but it'll be hard for this. For instance, like pigeons. The British Bulldog, like.
Oh yeah, but we've already got like.
Let's say they do the Bulldog. Yeah, but like. Not even that. It's just like they've just done like Incineroar, even though it wasn't a dog, it was a cat. Like, so it's like, the gem before was a dog, or it was a cat, and then the next gen is a dog.
You also had Popplio. Popplio was a dog, whale, snail, seal.
Yeah, so it's like
But
it's just.
Yeah, but like as I say, we don't have much of our own. I guess dog, but like they've already done a pigeon.
The problem is we've got a lot of wildlife, but it's very similar. Like we've got loads of for instance, we've got loads of little mammals and loads of little like rodents and stuff. We don't have we have like the odd like hawk and stuff like that. We have Is it a minx? I don't know. We have like a wild cat here, but it's not
Yeah.
like anything.
I
It's not like a
think
tiger.
I think it's a
Like,
minx, yeah.
we have like wolves and stuff like that. Foxes.
Foxes, I don't think there's any like wild fox Pokemon except for
Yeah.
the starter. Except for that one starter.
Yeah, the starter.
I don't think there's
Yeah,
any
that
fox
turned into a
Pokemon
wizard,
that's wild.
which was
yeah.
weird. I don't know
Oh,
why.
I love that. I love
Don't know why
that.
they turned
Fennekin.
into a wizard.
Fennekin was its name, I think. I love that one.
Yeah. It was a bit
That was
weird that it
good
turned into a
spinning.
wizard.
I mean, yeah, but it was still pretty cool.
It was cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I feel like I don't know what else. But then, having said that, it doesn't really have to be like they could do something based on the Lot Less monster, or
Maybe.
they can use things that are like more myths than actual animals that we have.
I don't know though, because like I just thought when you said that, like Loch Ness monster maybe as a legendary, but from what I read,
Yeah, it could
there's
be.
rumors that the legendary is going to be fairy type, which I don't know how I feel
Then it
about
could
that.
be a unicorn for me. It would be a unicorn if it was.
I remember you telling me that we have like the unicorn in our crest emblem or something like that.
Yeah,
So yeah, that,
it's
that
I can't remember what it's for, but it's a tiger, a lion, and a unicorn.
so yeah,
But they couldn't do a lion though because it's already done.
I mean, they can do another line. I mean, how many birds?
Yeah,
have
but
they
like
done?
right after.
I mean,
Yeah, but like you've already got like Sun and Moon had a lion legendary, and then you're gonna have another one straight after.
I wouldn't say legendary, but you could do like a rare Pokemon. Like
Oh,
a
yeah, of
rare
course,
Pokemon, like an
yeah.
Arcanine sort of Pokemon. You know, what
Yeah,
they call
yeah,
mythics or mythicals or something like that.
Pseudo legendaries, I guess.
Oh
they
yeah,
call
pseudo
them.
legendaries. That's it. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking of. So yeah,
And I guess
go on.
like I don't know. I just feel like they probably have to do something to do based around military and based around our royal guards and the way they
Yeah.
have the big hats and all that sort of
that's
stuff.
what I
They'll
was
probably do
thinking,
something
is
based
like
on that.
maybe the main enemy team will be like the Beefeaters, and like the someone within like high up in royalty will be the main bad guy trying to convince England or the region to go to war or something. That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
could be.
I thought that would be pretty cool because I was watching a video and they were talking about how like they could set it to where it's like you have where the Kalos region's war turns out to be the new region who they went to war with, and I thought
Could
that would be
be.
pretty cool, and like they can maybe like circle back to that, and like the guy sort of thinks that we should go back to war or some dumb thing like that. I say dumb,
But how-
something like that, yeah.
How far in the past would that have to be set? Like how far
Oh
in the
no,
past
you
would the
wouldn't,
kind of
you wouldn't set it in the past, but it would be like the guy sort of like
so the
started in
war previous.
yeah, like it still happened. What was it 3,000 years ago? Like that still happened, but like this set present day, and like the guy is like obsessed with the war again, and like or obsessed with the war.
Well, they can even. I feel like what would maybe be a different plot that could be just as good is if they're trying to overthrow the queen, so you end up like helping the queen.
or
So
king,
you make or king, yeah, depending on what you get, and you end up helping them.
because yeah, that's another thing we could talk about is the name King and Queen. That quote unquote leaked, and that's the rumor everyone's going with, and that's the name that everyone's ran to the hills with. Pokemon King. And
The
Queen.
thing is, the only thing about that name that I found that I just thought about, would that mean like neither queen and the king would be like
I mean-
pseudo legendaries now?
No, I feel like more though of like if it is King and Queen, maybe the King and Queen will be like the Pokemon League champion, and they will end up having the King or Queen or both. I think that would be pretty
Maybe.
cool, having like the King or the Queen depending on your game, and like they be the Pokemon League like thing, the champion, and rather than traveling through Victory Road, you go maybe like what you said with the Battle Tower in Big Ben. And
Yeah, could be.
you challenge up to Big Ben, and at the top of Big Ben is the King or Queen.
Or even they could do it with Buckingham Palace,
Yeah, I
and
was
you
gonna
have
say,
to go
yeah,
through
you
all the
just-
rooms in Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So yeah, now that I think about it, there's plenty of that for them to do. But
Yeah, it is plausible.
so what kind of things do you think will be there? Because what I'm hoping for more than anything else is Pokemon following you. They need to keep that in there. It was in Let's Go, and it was in Soul Silver and Heart Gold.
Yeah,
So
That was one of the best things about that game too.
that was one of the best games, but yeah. So do you think it's plausible? Do you think they do it?
I mean, I don't know if it'll be in the same vein as Let's Go, where they had the whole scaling thing. But I guess if they're gonna do it, they'll have to do it like that now, because that's what people are like. It's like now that we've seen it done.
I don't think they'll be doing the whole height and weight difference like they do in Pokemon Go. I thought that's Pokemon Go and that's Pokemon Go alone, and Let's Go. Let's Go was a tie-in to the Pokemon Go on the mobile phone. So,
but the thing is, though, now that you've seen it, it just makes sense to have it like that.
Of course, no, it makes perfect sense. Like real world aspects of it is like, yeah, it would make sense that not every Onix is the exact same size, not every Squirtle is the exact same weight, but
oh yeah, of course.
I feel like it's just gonna be too much, and like with people saying it's like Breath of the Wild tier. I mean, if it is, I don't think it will be possible. But again, I don't think it will be Breath of the Wild tier. I feel like it is gonna be.
No, I don't think they're gonna go that far.
It is gonna be like third person over the shoulder, and it is gonna be like full 3D movable camera and everything. But I don't think it'll be Breath of the Wild level. I don't think it'll be that big of an open world.
I think Breath of the Wild is probably a bit too I think that's too ambitious for it right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like the hardware itself might not be able to handle something as. I know I handled Breath of the Wild, but Pokemon's something else, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think they would have gone in that direction anyway. They would, because you don't want to make it too similar to because look at Mario Odyssey and you have Mario Odyssey and you have Breath of the Wild. They're both like similar open world type games, but like they have their own. No, that's what I mean. They have their own. They have their own way of doing it. Like obviously Mario is not fully open world, but it has its own unique way of. It's like it's got the same. Like it's still open to an extent. Yeah. Like very different to what the Mario games you're used to, but they have their own style. I feel like Pokemon ain't gonna want to intrude on any of the styles that they've already like done, so they want to have it. So they have their own unique. Because let's be real, Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon are probably the three biggest franchises for Nintendo. So they want to have their own distinct style, so you can distinguish them from each other.
Of course, but like, I mean, if oops, I hit my desk. If Pokemon looked like Zelda, you'd still be able to tell it was Pokemon. And I mean, I don't think they'd go with. Of course, but I don't think they'd go with the same shell shaded graphics. I just feel like the map size and like how the map is laid out. That's what I mean by, and I think that's what most people mean by Breath of the Wild tier, is like having this huge open world. And
I just couldn't see it with Pokemon, to be honest. I don't know. They seem to have their own way of like portraying their map and whatnot. And I don't know if it would fit in with because. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like that would be kind of a cool game to play, but I just don't know. And then, like, how would the Pokemon encounters work? Would that mean would they have to go back to just like random patches of grass, or would they still have Pokemon in the overworld?
I hope not. Pokemon in the overworld was so helpful. I loved that. And
it really is.
And having them in the open world, like you could do so much, like with seamless battle. So rather than like you have to, every time you walk into a Pokemon, like it turns to black and you have to go for a transition into the battle scene, you can have your trainer walk up to the Pokemon, see it, like you walk into it, and then your character like jumps 2 steps back and like throws a Pokeball out. Or even if you have a Pokemon following you, it like sort of like points his arm out and shouts for the Pokemon to run in. Pokemon runs in, and boom, you're in battle.
Yeah, but having said that, that's why I feel like it can't be like Breath of the Wild. I mean, if you think about it, Breath of the Wild works the way it works, but it's not very populated in that sense. Like to have Pokemon in the overworld, like
you could run hours in that game without finding anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But
which I think is what they had to sacrifice to make it look the way it was. It would have to be
that's what I thought is Pokemon, especially if they did have Pokemon in the open world. There's no way they could have anything as big as Breath of the Wild with Pokemon still out in the open world.
It'll be way too much. The frame rate will drop and everything.
The console will not be able to handle that.
So I feel like, it would be something similar to Breath of the Wild, but not as strenuous on the console. It have to be something they'll have to dumb it down.
Yeah. So what I want to ask you is what do you think of like the idea of like the new enemies. What do you think they will be like? Just I like my
I think
idea
they're
of
probably
have them being beef eaters and them being like connected to the royal family. And like
I think they're gonna be military, most likely. Some sort of military group, some sort of army cadets, well, not cadets, but like some sort of army general or something. Because when it comes to England, like a lot of our, a military is very big in like in Britain's, whole makeup. Like you got, so I feel like it's gonna be something to do with that. Probably some, and it might go along because obviously we've got Britannia. We've got the whole empire thing. It's probably gonna have someone that's gonna want to probably take over other regions or something.
The Holy Britannian Empire again. It's like going down
Yeah.
with Code Geass. Soon enough, we'll be driving big mechs with Pokemon.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the easy route. Again, that's the more obvious route to go with it. And I feel like they're not gonna try to be too complicated with the enemies.
No, but I guess they never really were. They've never been too complicated with the enemies.
Oh no!
But like, I just can't see them topping Team Skull. Team Skull were just too good of a team. Like, they were just too fun.
Yeah, they're just like bugging out the whole time.
Yeah, they were just a fun team. But
maybe this team is just gonna be like a group of beggars, like an Oliver Twist type style, and it's gonna run around like snatching your Pokeballs off you.
That would be quite funny. We're having like people like Jack the Ripper and all that.
Yeah. Just like, please, sir, can I battle once more?
I mean, think about it like that. There's a lot of culture in Britain that they can.
Yeah, there's actually so much. And like when you think about it, like I was saying, you don't even have to have Pokemon based on real life creatures. We have things like Willy the Pooh. We have Dummy Stories, Paddington. I mean, why not?
But yeah, having another bear Pokemon that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because it's so far
like they can base it on stuff like that.
Ursaring.
And what's that? The ice one.
Yeah, we got the ice one. Beartic or something.
I forget his name. Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
I'm bad with the Pokemon.
It's forgettable. It's very forgettable.
For me to count.
I mean, no one uses it that I know of.
No, it's not a very. I don't want to say it's not a very popular Pokemon. It might be a popular Pokemon.
I don't know. When it comes to ice Pokemon, they're just better.
Ice Pokemon is great though. Ice type is my favorite type of Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah, Ice type is my favorite type.
I don't know what my favorite type would be, to be honest. I'm probably a fire type guy. I always pick fire type starters. So I don't know why. I just like the fire type.
I usually choose water type.
The only time I picked a water type was in fact, no, that's not even true because I still picked the fire type first, but I did like Totodile, but I still picked the fire type first.
Oh, Cyndaquil.
Cyndaquil.
Totodile was one of the best Pokemon.
But yeah,
for
me, Feraligatr is one of the best water type starters I've ever had.
He might just be
Feraligatr might just be
the best Pokemon ever. I'll be honest with you.
It's so awesome. Like, it looks amazing.
Yeah. So, what else can you think of talking about with Pokemon Gen 8? Well,
I think.
Go on, sorry.
I was gonna say is something that I would want to see implemented is evolution within battle. I think because like for instance, the anime and the game, they don't go hand in hand in that sense. But like,
of course not.
The animes are always
very different.
Yeah, but the animes are always based on the same region and they're always based on the same
so they take creative freedom and liberties with it.
Oh, of course. And but in the anime, Pokemon can evolve. I wouldn't want it to be like, oh yeah, the Pokemon's under great stress. It just evolved. Like not something like that, but like obviously Pokemon can evolve. Yeah, they can evolve within battle, and I want to see something like a Pokemon being able to.
Wait, so just let me say, what do you mean is like if like for example my Charmander goes to level 16 in the midst of battle, and then they send out another Pokemon, it would evolve.
Yeah, then it would evolve
in the middle of the battle, and then you keep fighting.
Yeah, you keep going. Like instead of, because imagine like your Pokemon just evolved into level 16 and it's at the level of evolution, and then it faints during that battle, right? But then after the battle, it's still gonna evolve. It's like, but it's
you have
fainted.
to now level it up again guess I like that
Yeah.
it's a sort of a punishment of like, you failed to keep him alive. Now you have to go do that level again.
But it's like, I feel like it would be really cool, and if like they keep the battling so to the point where you can see the trainers as well as the Pokemon, and like you could have a different animation stuff. Cause I mean the evolution is. I'm kind of bored of that whole your Pokemon's evolving and then the bright white light and then it's just like spins around and it's like it's evolved. Like I don't know, they could like make a new sort of like motion for the evolution, especially in battle. If it's out of battle, then you can have the same boring, but like I don't know, during battle they can have like a special little thing, and you can have the characters like interacting, like the enemy can be like, oh whoa, your Pokemon just evolved, it looks way stronger now. It could be they can interact with the whole situation that's going on. Your character can be like, yeah, we can definitely win now. You're much stronger, bloody blah. It's something cool to see happen in game, because I don't know why they've never done it. Because technically speaking, if I'm level 16 and I'm going to evolve after the battle, why wouldn't I evolve as soon as I level up?
So at the moment, I'm reading now, like I'm just reading on Twitter at the moment. But like people are saying like tomorrow, which is Pokemon Day tomorrow. That's gonna be the drop. I just want to know what you think of that. Do you think that's reliable? Do you think that's likely to happen?
It would make sense. Apparently, I think from what I've heard, they did it. I don't know if it was Sun and Moon or X and Y, but they released trailers and like stuff for that. One of those two games when it was Pokemon Day. So it's been done before, so I don't see why they wouldn't do it now. It would make sense.
And I'm seeing a lot of people say Pokemon Gen 8 is definitely Breath of the Wild 2 sort of thing. I just can't see that happening. I really can't.
I don't know, like not to the same scale, because like we've said, and the only way they can achieve that is if they've reverted back to the old style of Pokemon being random encounters in grass, because they wouldn't have both to populate to that scale where it was in Let's Go, where you had Pokemon just walking around, because it'd just be too much for the game to render. It just wouldn't work.
No. But maybe if they'd done it by like how Pokemon usually is, and just have like sections, so you walk into a city, it transitions to black and then goes into the city, and only the city is loaded, and then when you leave,
guess they could do that.
Part of the route is loaded, and it just.
But
I thought that would be definitely choppier, but it would work.
Yeah, but if they do like that, wouldn't it just end up being like how the old games were, when if you walked in a certain way, you'd end up breaking the game and be able to walk through walls?
No, I don't think so.
Because that would. I think that's what those glitches were.
Games, but
no, because basically, from what they were, the glitches were because the game.
It was different with the old games because they were sprites on like grids. So
but the grid. But what the grid was is the trick was that you basically walked into a spot that hadn't rendered yet, so you were basically walking. Off the grid.
Yeah, but you
so wouldn't it be? I don't know.
I don't know how it works. We're not programmers. We can't guess this kind of stuff. So I guess that leads me on to my next point of what do you think?
That's just dumb though, because I don't know. Because if they do it that way, where only the section you're in is loaded, wouldn't that mean that it basically would have to preload how many Pokemon are going to appear on that route from as soon as you step in that route?
I don't know.
It would have to be predetermined.
As I said, I don't know how it works, so I can't say how it would work. I have no idea. But as I was gonna say, what do you think of their online? Do you reckon their online is gonna improve? Because with Let's Go, the online was terrible.
I mean, I don't know what they did with it. I've not played that, but.
Well, if I remember correctly, I didn't bother with the online much, but if I remember correctly, you had to like choose between like 8 Pokemon, and like you had like a pin, and
I heard about that.
You could only play with
it
friends.
It didn't work.
And like if you were lucky enough, you would be able to matchmake with someone online randomly. So I found that quite dumb.
Yeah,
that they really let you play with friends and people you knew. It was stupid.
But I guess it's because, like, let's be real, Let's Go is a more kiddie-friendly game, so
it was definitely
they didn't want kids going up against a grown-ass man that just wipes them out, and the kids just like, I don't want to play this no more.
But again, that another point is Pokemon Let's Go is way too easy. So do you think there'll be levels? Do you think like difficulty levels of where
I mean,
normal,
personally,
easy, hard?
I don't feel like there will be levels, but I feel like the game will just be harder in general anyway. If they keep by what they keep saying, it's for the hardcore Pokemon fans. So if that's what they're going for, I feel like it'll just be harder anyway, regardless of level. Like there being the hard, easy, like and all that. But
I'll be honest with you.
or maybe it'll be
no
something that you
Pokemon-
can unlock. You have to beat the game first, and then you can unlock it. But I don't see it being something that they'll add straight away from the beginning.
Even if it says it's for the hardcore fans, no Pokemon game is really that hard. There's a simple solution. You just
I mean, the
grind.
beginning ones were hard. Like the beginning ones, yeah, but they were. But that's the hardest about it, because the beginning ones did have a big spike in the gyms where it was like,
Yeah.
of course it's not going to be hard. There's no way of making it hard, because like end of the day, you can grind as much as you like.
Well, that's
and
what you'd
just
have
be
like, a hard
overpowered
difficulty where it scales to your level, so like you're never over leveled. So it's always going to be a challenge.
until you hit until you hit 100, and
then
they can't get no
then
better.
they hit 100, so then you're exactly the same level still.
Yeah, so
But
you
then-
just be on par.
Exactly, so you're never
But
better.
then that's
never-
different
they're
though.
never better than you.
But no, because then the only way that would work is if the gyms then have perfect IVs and all that. Because you just have
Well, no,
you just make sure your Pokemon has
you-
the perfect stat.
Of course, but your average player, first of all, ain't gonna be grinding to level 100, and second.
For the hardcore Pokemon fans.
Okay, fine, but like, but what I'm saying is your average player won't be doing that, and I don't think
That's true.
I don't think most people would be going for straight like hardcore IV, especially early game. That's something you usually try to wait for end game, unless you're doing like a challenge run or something. But even hardcore players, I don't think they'd straight away be going into the EVs and IVs with Pokemon.
But I mean, to be honest, you don't need to, because the early game are the gyms that have like 4 times weaknesses to like grass and
But
fire.
maybe
So you
they
can
won't.
wipe those gyms easily. Anyway. Like the
Maybe
bloody
that's-
bug
maybe
gym that
that's
just
the way
gets
they
wiped
make
out.
it harder is by not having gyms.
I mean, the only way they can make it harder, the only way they can make it harder is if the gyms have no types. It's just maybe they have a theme that they stick to, so it's like it's a poison gym, but they don't have only poison type
Types.
Pokemon. So
Yeah.
they have a variety.
Something that I would like to see is a variety type gym. Is have a gym that is.
I think that
completely
should be
random.
all the gyms,
I
or
would
like
say- I
they
would
have
say
teams that.
all
For
of the
instance,
gyms.
each gym member should have a team. So let's say it's a poison gym. My team is Nidoqueen or whatever. Then my team should reflect Nidoqueen. So it should be like, I will have, I don't know, Nidoqueen is weak to say, well, ground type. So you would have just throw in a random water type so that it complements the Nidoqueen. So the team should be built to empower the Nidoqueen. So like, it's not
So
just I come in there. You have,
bases.
yeah, like it's not like I go in there, I fight you. You have 2 Nidorinas and the Queen. And it's like, what is the point in that?
Yeah.
Is you should have something to combat what my strategy will be. So my strategy is going to be a bit like what they did with the trials, because some of the trials, like I remember some of the trials, like not so much. They might have like, countered what the weakness was to the other Pokemon, but you know it'd have a different typing next to it, so it wouldn't just be, well, you're both grass, so I'll just do flamethrower. Like one would be grass, one would be like a flying type. For instance, the grass trial, I remember doing that one, and it was like the grass type Pokemon, and next to it was the toucan or whatever it was called, the bird, and it was like
Yeah.
it was more difficult because it's like I've gone in there expecting to fight a grass type, and now I've been tag teamed by another type, and then I remember it had sunny day, and then it's kept doing that solar blade. Like it should be more challenging, not just you walk in there and it's all grass type, and I can use one Pokemon like you have in other games. Like, you know, that's why I used to pick the fire type, because like the first few gyms was like piss easy, because it'd be like, oh, you're a bug type gym, oh, that's hard. Ember.
And another thing that I want to ask is 2-player or co-op. You think that's coming back in any way, shape, or form?
Well, the way I see it is they should do co-op, but it shouldn't be the same. I think the co-op should work like, you should be like, you have to play with your friends,
Yeah.
and you drop into the same, you're in the same like area, or not in the same area, but they're in the same game, but you have the freedom to do what you guys want. You don't have to like be within the same screen. You don't have to be in the same. You don't have to be in the same town. Like you could just generally just play the game.
See, now that
Obviously-
is wishing for a lot. That.
Oh yeah,
That
of
is
course.
next level stuff. I don't think Pokemon's anywhere near that yet. Nowhere near that yet.
I mean, they were half a day with Let's Go.
I mean, yeah, but you were on the same console. This is not online, and we know Pokemon don't do online very well.
I mean, this could be the chance. But let's be fair. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say the reason why their online have been so bad is because they've been on the DS and the 3DS.
I mean,
No, let's not count any.
The first Switch game was probably the worst online one we've had.
Oh, but I mean, I feel like that game was never going to be good on. Because let's be real, they themselves were like, this is a one-off. I don't think they were planning. I don't think they wanted it to have like a long life sort of thing. I think they wanted it to be a game that people play, have a bit of fun with, and then it's like, okay, where's the next gen? You don't want, because like if the game was amazing, the online was amazing, next gen will come. People be like, I mean, I'm content with this game. Why am I spending another 50 quid? I'm content.
That's true, but I mean, most people buy Pokemon games anyway. Pokemon games sell.
Yeah, it's true, they do. But like, for instance, look at GTA. GTA's been out for how long? And it's just living off the online mode. If they brought out another GTA like 2 years afterwards, and the online mode was doing as well as it is now, people would be like, I mean, cool, I want a GTA. I mean, it's a GTA game, but that's just not needed right now. Like, we're still having so much fun,
So
and it's like,
is that what you think they're trying to go over Pokemon? Is that they want this one to last a while, or
no, like, well, to be fair, at this point, depending on how the game is, I mean, they're not going to be able to. They won't be able to bring out a Pokemon game every year. It just won't be happening. Not on the Switch. Not if they go for like Breath of the Wild style.
No, what I'm saying is they might be doing like the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon sort of route where you have like Gen 8.2 or something.
Yeah, but
Where
that's
it's
just going to
just
piss
like-
everyone off. I don't think that would work. I
I
don't think
mean,
people
they've
are
been
going to
doing
want
it for years. They've been doing it since.
that. But let's be real. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon did not do well.
Yeah, but they've been doing this for a while. You had Red and Blue, Yellow, Gold and Silver, Crystal, Sapphire and Ruby.
Okay, but here's the difference though. The difference though, let's be real. For one, like Crystal was completely different to bloody the first two. Like they actually had differences. Even when like White and Black and then Black 2, White 2, they were different games.
Of
So they
course,
can't just be like Ultra.
and
That's
that-
why people got pissed off Ultra Sun and Moon, because it was like,
It was way too
isn't
simple.
it a different
Yeah.
game? Yeah,
It was,
they couldn't do that
for
again.
most people's opinion, it was a downgrade from the original, and that's what I think personally. Is it was definitely a downgrade, mainly due to its story. Like it took out a lot of the good parts of the story, and they just sort of like left it as it was. It was sort of bare bones, and it just
I
wasn't
don't
very
really
good.
know what the point in it was. I feel like they just felt like they had to. I don't know if they were just
It was just a
forced
cash
to
in.
put out a game.
It was a cash in.
Yeah.
Because the originals, the Sun and Moon, the first one did so well, I think, that they had to capitalize on it. There's no way they couldn't.
Yeah.
And what I feel like is the reason why the Alola region did so well is because of how story-based it was. I know a lot of people don't like story-based games, but I mean, I love story-based games, especially RPGs. I love JRPGs, and I just feel like Pokemon needs to go heavily down that route now. They've done it all. Like they've had the simple games. Now they're on the next gens, like with the higher graphical output. Their storytelling needs to increase as well. What do you think about that? Do you think
To an extent.
do you think
to an
they need to get better
extent.
story? I feel like they need to do proper cutscenes, even do full voice acting.
I mean, there's just a problem, because that's all cool and that, but like your character never talks, so it's like
You wouldn't have your character talk. I mean, they've done it in.
I get it,
they've
I
done
know
it in
that,
Breath
but
of
like
the
what I'm
Wild.
saying is like, I know, but like isn't that like a thing that Link is like kind of never talks anyway?
Yeah. And
That's what I'm saying, like, so that's normal.
Yeah, and you just
Yeah,
have
but
those
like, but the thing about it though, with
characters.
Pokemon, the reason why Pokemon is a bit stupid, because let's be real, it wouldn't work, because like let's be real. Alright, so we've like from what I've not played many Zelda games, but with Breath of the Wild, when they're talking to you, it's almost like they're not really talking to you, they're just talking at you, and the most of the time it's like exposition, like they're telling you something, they're giving you information. Whereas Pokemon, like when you play Pokemon, they're clearly talking to you. Like you just don't ever respond.
I mean,
Like,
you do respond.
they
You
don't-
have the yes, the no's, and like.
oh
the
yeah, yes, no,
occasionals.
no, that's it. Yeah, and then have like the interview people, but like they're clearly talking to you, so it'd be a bit weird if like it's voice acted, so everyone's talking, and then your guys just there with that blank expression on their face. It's like,
or maybe
bruh,
they'll
like,
go down. You've never played a Persona game, but maybe they'll go down the Persona route of where your character hardly speaks, but he still speaks, and like there are points where he does speak, but it's just not often. So it's like,
and they could do that.
You never feel like it's not representing you.
But then, if that's the case, would you have to then have, would they didn't have to let you pick your own voice and like have like that sort of customization?
You should have generic female voice, generic male voice.
Okay, but what if I've picked to be like, I don't know, I'm guessing I'm gonna keep like color in the game. So what if I pick to be like a black kid, and I've got like a generic white guy voice? Well, I'll be like, this is not me.
I
It's
guess
taking me out of the game.
to find like a perfect middle ground of where it's like you couldn't tell either way. Kind of like Kratos' voice, where it's like it's neither here nor there when it comes to like voice.
I mean, no, sorry, if I saw a black man go, "Come, boy," I'll be like, that's not your voice. Come on, stop
I
being
mean,
stupid.
his voice actor was a
voice.
black guy.
Well, he did a fucking good white guy voice, because that did not sound like I would never have been like, Kratos is black. Like he sounds like
Kratos.
He sounds like a must. He sounds like a very.
That's my point. Is Kratos is depicted as Greek, and he's I don't know about his original voice act, but in the new ones, it's what's his name? I'm gonna have to Google his name now. I'm gonna have to give credit to the man.
But I wouldn't say it was a middle ground. I don't think. Imagine if you could pick an Asian character. I mean, would that represent you? Would you feel like that could represent me as an Asian character or a Caribbean character?
I can't find it. Never mind. I can't find it. I mean, I probably could, but I'm not looking on that. Besides, it's about Pokemon. Let's get back to Pokemon. So, what else do you want to add about this? I mean, I feel like we've talked about all there is in terms of Gen 8 and the possibilities.
I'd like to see them add DLC, maybe, or like.
Oh yes. DLC.
Firstly, it needs to have a very heavy post game, and there needs to be a very heavy post. Like I'm talking, and when I say DLC, I'm talking like Omega Ruby style Alpha, that whole space meteorite sort of thing. I don't want like something linear, like there's a battle tower now. No, I want an actual story. Like when you have the whole.
Is this paid DLC then?
Well, no, because like that. For instance, that Alpha, Omega Ruby thing that we had to do, that wasn't paid. That was already. That was post game. But
DLC is different to post game. And do you think that they'll make an entire new story? Do you think that's what they'll do with like the Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun? Instead of making a new game, they've just released DLC for it as like an entire new story mode to add on to the game itself.
I don't know.
But I do like the idea of like as you said earlier, the like before the video, that like the events for Pokemon, like where you have to go to like over here it's we go to game and like they'll just give you a code that you type in for a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Where rather than make just have it like an actual event, like the old you remember playing the Sinnoh games and having like the Arceus and the Darkrai event, where you had to like I think it was like like you had to go to a tournament or you had to download something at the right time. I mean, I used to cheat them in with an action replay, but
I feel like the games nowadays give you too much. Like the other game where they gave you that Chikorita with the use, and they just give you too much strings that just break the game. And like legendaries they're not legendary anymore because you just get them given to you.
Same with shinies.
What they should do now is just have even if it's just DLC where it's like an event where you download it and it's like a person just comes and says they saw something mythical in a cave that they've never seen in this region before, because obviously they wouldn't know what the legendaries were.
No.
You go to the cave and it's like a dungeon, like not even a dungeon, like it's just like a mini event where it's like you have to do some puzzles or some sort of work your way through to finding the legendaries. Maybe like find clues, work your way around even like, do you remember that what was it? Was it I think it might have been Silver and Gold, where they had that Victory Road. We had to do like the ice maze. We had to drop the boulders down and do the ice when you had to ski across the ice and hit the boulders in a certain way so you can get across.
My brain wants to say that was Sinnoh, but
I can't remember what it was.
Maybe it wasn't a Victory Road, but maybe it was when you go to Mount. What its name now? But when you go up to Sinnoh, there is a snow region, and there is a mountain you have to climb. It might be that. It might have been that.
But like, yeah, I just mean, like, there's no challenges, like there's no little like puzzles to do anymore. Like, and now you just walk somewhere and you get there.
Yeah.
You have to push your boat out of the way and cut. You don't. There's no challenge no more. I want them to start doing stuff where, like, you know, you go somewhere and.
That's a good point I want to bring up. HM's gone for good.
Probably, I reckon. There's no point in HMs. No one wants them in the game.
No.
They'll kind of like.
So
you accepted it at the time, but now it's just like, what's the point? Now that we know you've seen it without it.
Well.
But then at the same time, I don't really think that whole, you know, whatever that move was in Let's Go to cut down trees where you have to learn.
No, I don't think they're bringing that back. What I was gonna say is, do you reckon they'll bring back the ride Pokemon?
Yeah, I feel like they will. I feel like they're gonna get rid of that.
They'll give that variety as well. So rather than
well, they'll have to.
Like where you had Mudsdale to do one thing, do you reckon you can get a Rapidash or a Mudsdale depending on what you prefer?
Yeah,
so like
I feel like
the customized
what I
Pokemon
think,
where you can
from
have
what
like,
I've heard,
a Gyarados or a Lapras.
I feel like they shouldn't just do no. If you have a water Pokemon, it should be able to swim full stop. So you shouldn't have to have a certain type of water Pokemon. You should be like shouldn't have to have a move or anything.
Yeah,
you should be able to walk up to a body of water, and as long as you have a water Pokemon in your party.
How do you show it? Because if you have a Squirtle, how do you ride a Squirtle? You're twice the size of a Squirtle. How do you ride a Squirtle across the water?
I mean, you could technically ride a Squirtle all across the water in the games anyway. If it gives you to surf.
Yes, but they never show you as a Squirtle. Or are you saying they shouldn't show you?
No, they showed it as a Lapras.
What?
Or even if they show it as I think you kind of
they'll take you completely out of the game. You send.
No, that's what I'm saying. They showed that. No, I'm saying that's what they did.
No, they didn't.
Well, yeah, they had that. Well, it weren't like
it was like a weird fish kind of thing in the water that you sat on.
Yeah, but it basically looked like a Lapras. Let's be real.
No, it didn't look nothing like a Lapras.
Yeah, it had like the blue body.
No, it
had the blue body.
No, it didn't.
It did.
No, it didn't.
It really did.
I need to
look back.
I'm googling this now.
It did.
Pokemon Surf. What game are you referencing this from?
I don't know. Just any of the older ones. I mean, it had to be probably a game that was coloured, but any of the old ones. I'm pretty sure it was
Fire Red. It's just a pretty much a blue fish you sit on. And yeah, same with Emerald. Hell, same with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and they're pretty modern ones. Except for Kyogre, apparently from the looks of it, you can ride Kyogre. Is that? I'm seeing that.
Yeah, but I think that was especially. I think that's if you caught it.
Alright, but yeah, you can have Kyogre, or you can just have like the generic blue thing. So yeah, no, there was never the Lapras was in the Alola region. You could ride the Lapras.
Like, I don't mean it was a genuine Lapras, as in like you had the whole horn on its head and the spikes on its back, but it was a generic blue creature. I mean,
yeah, it looks like a blue fish.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely think they're coming back, the rideable Pokemon. I definitely think they'll have variety of like you can choose what ones you want to ride. And but yeah, maybe if you own certain Pokemon, like you'll ride your Pokemon rather than ones that they give you the co-op on, and that way you can build friendship maybe.
I guess.
I want to say.
Well, it'd be better to ride it on your own Pokemon, not like just random people's Pokemon.
You might not own a Pokemon. There might be a way you need to get through, and you might not own the Pokemon. So like you can rent Pokemon.
It's true, I guess. Maybe, but like I don't know, like for me, because for like the whole point of Pokemon, like the whole thing you get with Pokemon is that it's Pokemon, and they bond with you, and you form such a bond. They listen to you through because they. But like, so imagine this: a random rent Pokemon just Like, why would it obey you? It's just a random ass
Yes,
Pokemon.
but you gotta remember, like, in game, like, lots of people are doing Nuzlocke challenges, and it's like they just don't have that Pokemon. He's saying they can't get through. They're gonna have to have some sort of way of getting through.
You say that, but let's be real. Before Riot Pokemon were a thing, people that did Nuzlocke had to do that anyway. They got round that anyway.
Yeah, but they'd usually have, like, if they were playing it vanilla without the randomizer, they'd either teach a Pokemon the HM, or what they'd do is they'd make a HM slave just so they can get through the game.
Yeah, and I get that, but like you can't tailor a game around the Nuzlocke, because that's something that you only do on PC anyway.
Of course not, but like it's one of those things where it's like they also can't force you to catch Pokemon that you don't want to catch.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
So it's like
that's fine.
If you want to run through the game with one Pokemon, you'll start Pokemon, and if you can't go through all the trials and tribulations that you'll arrive upon, I mean, what more can you do?
Yeah, but for me, that's also making the game easier when it's like, I don't have to solve the solution myself on my own Pokemon. I'll just get a random ass Pokemon come do it for me.
I mean, it's not really solving a problem. It's like you still need to get through this, and it's like having like strength. It's like it's nothing more than just finding strength in the wild and go, oh, there you go, you got strength. Maybe you have to find maybe you have to find a person in the wild and they're like, here, I can lend you this Pokemon to do this. Just give me a call and I will send my Pokemon to you. So it's like having strength or something.
But like, okay, you do it, and then a Pokemon just turns up like simultaneously. How does that work? It's just like, ring. I need strength, and you hang up the phone, and the Pokemon's like, hi, I'm here.
I mean, I don't know how it's gonna work, but
for me, I think I thought that was all part of the challenge.
With Sun and Moon, they just like appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, which was weird.
Yeah, but like that's the best way of doing it. I mean, there's no other way of doing it, you know.
I don't know. I liked having to have HM to an extent, because I thought it made you. I didn't mind them because it made you plan ahead. Like, whereas when you have like, I do like ride Pokemon as well, because obviously ride Pokemon's, you know, you didn't have to wait a move,
tell me
but
like you were spreading out the HMs between your team.
Yeah, I didn't have a HM slave. Why would I have one? A lot of the HM moves were actually viable moves. Surf, 90 base power. Fly, like 95 base power. Strength, 80 base power.
Okay.
These moves are actually usable.
They're usable.
Obviously the rock smashes and all that shit. Yeah, but that's early game. Let's be real. That's only early game. Once you get past the first 4 gyms and stuff,
once you're going through,
you don't even use that.
No, once you start going through Victory Road, there's definitely a rock smash. There might be.
Yeah, but with Victory Road, let's be real. You probably got your own like set team, and you can like sack one guy off just to get through Victory Road. That doesn't really matter because your team's you've already like built your team up, and you've already got them to the level you want them at.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, but at the same time, it's like with HMs, it's like HMs. Once you've learned them, they're unlearnable. So it's like if Pokemon learn them,
you get the moves to lead up.
Yeah, but like that's a lot of trouble. I mean, like it's one of the things where it's like my Pokemon's leveled up, it's learned a new move. It's like, oh, I kind of want to get rid of Cut now, but you can't.
Yeah, that was the only issue that I had with them. Was like, I can't
maybe if they let you now delete HMs, I feel like maybe they could bring them back. That would work.
Yeah,
and that's the only way I can see them bringing them back.
The thing is, they never really got rid of them. They just made them not use like Fly and Surf are still moves in the game. It's just not important anymore.
They're now moves. They're not HMs. They're not used for anything because when it comes to flying, you can do other things. But
But I think the only reason why I say that is just, wouldn't it just be cooler to have your own personal Pokemon, like flying on your own personal Pokemon, instead of only being able to fly on like a Charizard?
No, yeah, definitely, and I feel like that's what they're gonna do is like have you have the ability to do that, but then also if you don't have a Pokemon that can do it.
Oh yeah, of course.
That was my whole point of like, you can use your Pokemon, but if you don't have the Pokemon to do it, then you use another Pokemon. So like it will be like a drop. Like you have a menu where it's like you designate your own Pokemon to do it. And and what they can do is if you don't have any Pokemon selected of your own, it will just like randomly give you a different one every time.
Yeah, I guess I could
So
do
it's
that.
like, it's a way of like showing you all the different Pokemon that you could catch that can do this job for you. And I say like it will give you a chance to like build like friendship and all that. But with
Yeah,
friendship, what I was saying is with like Sun and Moon and Let's Go, Eevee and Pikachu, what they had was where when you sometimes you get put to sleep or poisoned, you can just recover from it simply through love.
yeah,
And I feel like what they could do now is maybe have like a quick time event or something that like you do an input quick enough, and it prevents it. And like that's only like a random, again, it's a random thing that pops up, so it's like you have to always be on your toes and prepared for it. And like
yeah.
the more
I mean, I could see them doing
and the
that.
more friendship you have, like the more likely it is to turn up. But of course, like they'll ban it in certain things like gym battles and like the Elite Four, like it wouldn't turn up. Or
Yeah,
and better yet, they should have an option where you can turn it off as well completely, if you want to make the game harder for yourself. And that's another thing I've heard as
yeah,
well. Is
that's be optional.
with difficulty as well. It's the having the the PC with you at all times. Do you think that? Like, I personally love that, having the PC with me at all times.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of see an argument against it, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah, for instance, like let's just say you're like for instance, another hard thing about Pokemon was when you knew you had to go for a cave, you know there's gonna be loads of trainers, loads of encounters, so you had to make sure you had enough potions, antidotes, and all that. And like you had to. There'll be times where you're going through the cave, you're like, oh my god, I don't think I'm gonna make this. There's just too many. You know what I mean? There's too much encounters. There's too many. But now it's like, it doesn't matter. I just switch out the Pokemon.
Yeah,
Whenever I feel like it.
maybe what they can do is have limits on it, so only certain areas can you access it. Like whilst you're in the cities, you can
Yeah,
only
I
access
guess
it
you
there.
could do
So
that.
whilst you're in a dungeon, or better yet, like whilst you're in a dungeon you haven't yet cleared, you can't use it in there. But once you've cleared it, you can now use it in there.
Cleared it. Yeah, they could do something like that, I think. But like, I don't know, just as long as it's not done to the point where it's like you can just,
You can break
oh yeah, oh my
That's
Pokemon, my Pokemon all like nearly dead.
That's
I'm
one
just
thing
gonna switch out the
I
whole
don't
team.
remember with I don't remember ever doing this, and I don't know why. But if my Pokemon got low, if you switched it into the PC and then switched it back out, would it fully heal it, like it does with the old games?
No, I think we did try it once. And I don't think
Did
it
we?
did. Yeah, I think we
don't-
tried it once.
I'll need to retry that again.
Yeah, because I think I remember saying like I remember when you showed me the PC was in the bag. I remember saying, well, so if you put your Pokemon back in the PC and took it out, would it heal? And it didn't work. But I don't know if that's because we did it like literally. We put it in and took it straight out again.
Yeah,
maybe if you
you
like
have to
pull it
exit the
in
menu.
and then like went through a building, like not even that. Like you went through a building, so it had a quick load or something like that. And
Maybe.
then when you went back in, it was healed. But because you generally didn't. I don't think you even moved a step or anything like that. So it was like it went in and went straight back out. So maybe
Yeah,
if you do something, talk to somebody or do something, then there's like a little time has passed. Then like when you go back in the box, it might have been healed.
Yeah,
But if they do that, that's broken. That is very broken.
yeah, that would be broken. So I think that's all we got time for today. I feel like we've had a great discussion. Is there anything else you'd like to add towards the end of this now? Now that it's time to wrap up.
One more thing,
Go on.
and this is another thing that I think might be probably one of the most important things for a Pokemon game that we actually forgotten to mention,
What's
and
that?
that's music.
Music, yes. I hope that they go the same route as Mario Odyssey and have a full live orchestra.
I mean, to be honest, with England, they probably should do because like we have like instruments like bagpipes and that sort of things. And we do have a lot of orchestra related music here as well. We have like pianos
we're
and
also known
like
for,
big organs like in churches and stuff like that.
but we're also known for the rise of the punk genre. So do you reckon
Yeah,
that
so
there'll
they
be
can-
places with like the more? See, that's where I see like.
This is the only problem. It depends on what it depends on what era they do. Because if they do like not if it's like not like modern day, but it's not like far in the past. Because I mean we had like the rise of like just rock in general, like indie rock and all that, like Beatles and like people like that, like Westlife and all those sort of people. So I feel like they could have it to the point where it's like orchestra, rock music, even have there could be so much variety of music that's like imagine like you're in Scotland and they have like a bagpipe, like a music that involves the bagpipes or something like it's just
Yeah,
There's a lot of
so-
things they can do with the music, and then Pokemon. That's the one thing that Pokemon are usually are always really good at is the music.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what aspects out of our music scene they take and our music history that they take, because I feel like there's great potential with the music in this game if it is based in Britain. Like Britain has good music, and they can even especially the do like with a Britannia theme where there's like a whole empire type thing. They can even draw music from like Australia and other countries related to Britain. Yeah, so they don't even have to just stick to England, Wales, Ireland, and Scotland. They can take.
But you mentioned
From
Australia, and I thought
yeah.
Australia would be a really good region to set. Australia has
I
a
feel
lot
like-
of wildlife.
I think Australia would be actually the sort of place you could probably do a Breath of the Wild type game.
Yeah,
More
actually, that,
simply because they have the outback where they have a lot of area where it could be like if
Barren
it isn't very populated, if it's not very populated, it can be explained simply like that this is Australia, this is the norm.
yeah, there is nobody here but a couple of Pokemon. Even then, you'd only get six
Yeah.
Pokemon living there.
And they can have it as well so easy, like like for instance they got loads of lizards and spiders and stuff that burrow underneath the sand, so it could be a thing where they could still have Pokemon in the overworld, but it'd be like they don't have to have the whole Pokemon showing, maybe just like the tail sticking out of the sand so you can notice that it's there, but they don't have to have a full rendered Pokemon until you interact with it, instead of having to interact, like, so the tail moves around so you can see where it is.
Yeah.
Or like and then you just bump into you go to the tail and then it pops out of the sand without so they could actually have it so it's more like, we don't have to populate it drastically, we can have Pokemon in the thing, but obviously it's a sandy region, they're going to be either in shade or underneath the sand trying to keep cool, so they don't have to have them just walking around
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff.
So I have just one last question I'd like to ask you just before we go. Pokemon Kings
Go on.
and Queens. You think that's the name?
I mean, personally, I don't know, because let's be real, I remember we thought the Ultra Sun and Moon was going to be called Pokemon Stars and all this rainbow, so I don't know. It's hard to tell with the Pokemon names, because Pokemon names, the name of the game was probably one of the hardest things to guess. But I mean, it's not impossible. But I've also heard plus and minus.
I also
So,
saw Spotted and Striped. I don't know how legitimate that is.
What? Spot and Stripes.
Yep. People are going
I
crazy
mean,
with it.
that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. Spot
I
and
hope
Stripes.
so. Spots and Stripes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That'd be amazing.
I guess that's all we got time for today. Thanks for watching Underleveled Gaming's Pokemon Talk. And as soon as we're giving more news on Pokemon Gen 8, we'll be making another video. So thanks for watching.
Yep. See ya another time.